The moon is on the bleeding low level. It's like the moon. Surely the moon's gonna go up. Look at the thing.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the first prediction video I am posting. This is the only reason I made this channel. It's all I care about. All the goy slop I've been posting previously, just ignore it. This is all that matters. You guys get to finally see how the GOAT of MMA Twitter predictions gets to the conclusions he does. Starting with the first fight, Alessandro Costa versus Cody Durden. Now, fights like these, I'm not going to spend super long talking about. This just seems like a Lobo Gym masterclass, really. I mean, I couldn't think of a better matchup for a Lobo Gym affiliate than Cody Durden. Because we all know what Lobo Gym people struggle with. It's footwork, it's cutting the cage off, it's, anything that requires a brain, really. We see it with Alexa Grasso when she was fighting Natalia Silva. We saw it in both Volk fights for Lopez, and even the Steve Garcia fight for Lopez, until Lopez just tard blitzed him, and then Garcia went full Kirk mode and just collapsed. But Durden doesn't do that, dude. Durden's not going to inside low kick at range and move around, stick the jab and shoot intelligently. He's just going to run at him. And that's exactly what these Lobo freakazoids want. Costa's going to clip him coming in. Durden's going to go down. Costa's probably going to sub him or maybe ground and pound TKO him. Durden is a dog, so that's why this isn't a lock of a pick. But, you can only be a dog until so many, 2-3s bounce off your cranium. So I think this is a good matchup for him. I feel like I have a good read on the Lobo Gym people. If you even want to call them people. I don't view them as people. Give me Costa, round 1 KO. Maybe round 2. I could see it going to round 2. I'll go Costa round 2. Now, I mean, talk about a shit show, dude. If you think I'm spending more than 30 seconds talking about Ryan Gondra and Zach Reese, click off immediately. I'm going to go Gondra, and I'm not going to give you any reason other than the fact that he's facing Zach Reese. This isn't a Gondra pick. This is a Zach Reese fade. All right, give me Gondra round 1 KO. Another fight I'm not talking about in depth. It won't even let me click on it, and it's telling me Garza's minus 125. What are we doing? I know for a fact Basharat's like minus 1,000. I'm gonna pick Basharat. I'm gonna be candid. I don't know who John Garza is. I saw one clip of him on Twitter. He looked okay, and I saw a picture of him. He looks like he's younger than me, and he looks like a twink. I'm not picking him to beat Farid. I was gonna pick Ethan Ewing to beat Farid though. Just FYI. I do think he would have won that matchup. Give me Farid by decision, because that's what the Basharat brothers do. They just... And Farid will probably get hurt at some point, just because that's what they do. Next up, this is the first fight that I kind of struggled with. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have. DP versus Cesar Almeida, the DP that's actually allowed to say the N-word, not Dustin Poirier. It's going to be bad, McGregor. It's going to be bad. Yeah, I'm going DP. I get the Cesar Almeida side a bit. He is like the better striker, I guess, but like he gets dropped all the time. And if worse comes to worse, right? And Penis is feeling uncomfortable on the feet and Penis can't explode. I really do think if Roman Kopylov can look like Daniel fucking Cormier against Almeida, I think an athletic black dude like Damian Penis, if he really needs to, can just shoot a takedown. I really do. I don't see any reason why this guy can't just double leg this guy out in the open. So give me Penis however he wants, really. I'll go KO because Almeida is super hittable. He has that Alex Pereira shitty fucking tree stump guard that I despise looking at. So I think Penis will clip him early. Next up, my GOAT, Tracy Cortez. Anyone who follows me on Twitter knows that I am a Tracy Cortez fanboy, and I pick her in every fight. So maybe don't listen to my opinion on this one. But I don't pick her in every fight because I'm some fucking gooner. I actually just think she's good. And I don't get the context around her and her like fighting skill. You know what I mean? Now, she did do my boy Brian Ortega wrong. And I do look at her differently for that. I really do. But when we talk about fighting, she is good, dude. I don't know why people try and act like she's not just because she wore fake eyelashes and shit and she has a fat ass. Like, why can't she have a fat ass and be good at fighting? Because she is. Like, she's a good boxer. She has good top control. Her top game's elite. I think she's gonna beat Wang with top. I'm sorry. I think I am gonna pick Tracy, and like I said, I pick her in every fight. I picked her to beat Rose, famously one of my worst picks ever, apparently. Even though, literally, by the way, 48-47. She straight up won like the last 2 rounds at elevation on short notice after a bad weight cut. She beat Rose in 2 of the rounds. She struggles with wrestlers. That's what you notice. She was boxing the head off Erin Blanchfield, and then Blanchfield shot a takedown, and Cortez's ass was too fat to defend the double leg. Not perverted, by the way. That wasn't perverted by me. That's a genuine, crafty, technical take I have. I think Cortez was gifted down there so much she can't defend a double leg. I noticed that. When people get their hands locked, you ever seen the video of Cejudo training with Mackenzie Dern? It's like that. It's like you just can't escape it. She's just not built to defend that, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but also unfortunately. But dude, I just saw Wonton over here get controlled for 8 minutes by Mora. And I get you can say Mora might be a better submission artist and a better pure submission grappler than Cortez. But the best aspect of Cortez's game is her top control. When she gets on top of people, they don't get up. She only needs 2 takedowns in this fight. I really think if she gets 1 in round 1, 1 in round 2, she wins. Also, people, like good predictors, are talking about Wan Song here like she's Alex fucking Pereira, dude. She gets 1 KO over a bottom of the barrel drone at women's flyweight, and all of a sudden she has 1 punch KO power, dude. She's a fucking point fighter. She's literally Shevchenko. She's going to inside low kick you at range off her back foot and miss big strikes. That's what she does. This is what she does. And I just don't think that's going to work. Cortez is going to be in her face, thinking she's Canelo and shit, moving her head, getting popped by jabs. But then the second Wonton here throws a leg kick. I think Cortez uses it, gets on top, and I don't think Wonton can get up. I really don't. And Cortez, like a couple people on this card we're going to talk about in a little bit, she's willing to stink this bitch up. She'll camp in half guard for 15 minutes if that's what it takes to win this fight. You know what I mean? She doesn't get International Fight Week. Oh, McGregor card. Dude, she doesn't give $2. You remember last International Fight Week? Ilya versus Charles, dude? Versus Araujo, I think it was. She straight up just laid there for 15 minutes and won. She doesn't care. I'm straight up seeing people pick Wong Tong because Cortez mogs. That's not even a joke. They're like, Cortez is wearing fake eyelashes and Wong Tong has fucked up teeth. I think Wong Tong just cares about her career more. It's like, dude, they're fading Cortez because she's hot. You can't make this shit up, folks. Give me Cortez by the worst fight on the card via 30-27 smudge. Is that an underdog pick by me? Let me see. It is, dude. That's crafty. I don't pick underdogs. That's big. Yeah, another underdog I'm not picking. Fluke Riley, Kai Kamaka. I picked Kai Kamaka in his last fight. In like a very 50-50 divided fight, and he won. Didn't look good. But neither does Luke Riley, really. He's undefeated, but he's kind of shit. I'm not particularly inspired by any of his performances. Also, I don't like this matchmaking. Who the fuck cares about Kai Kamaka III, dude? Get this guy off my screen. But I'm going to go Luke Riley. He is just better. He's faster. Kai Kamaka pressures forward. Maybe if he, Mario Batista maxes a bit, he can steal a decision here. But Luke Riley's been dealing with that stuff his whole career. This isn't something he's never seen before. He's going to break the clinch, land the bigger shots. I don't think he gets a finish, though. And that's why I'm kind of worried about the scorecards here. But I think Riley just lands more. He's way faster. Every boxing exchange, he's going to win. Whether it's because he lands the bigger shot or he lands first. I think this is going to be a shit fight, though. Kind of like his last one, where it was just whatever. You get done with it and you're like, I guess. Luke Riley, folks. I'll go Riley 29-28 in an uninspiring performance. Now we have the battle of shit. Cody Garbrandt, Adrian Yanez. I've never been on the Yanez train. I don't think he's that good. But I mean, dude, Cody Garbrandt in 2026 just can't be trusted with your money, especially, but not even with a pick, dude. Like, this guy could be fighting fucking Jazz Loves MMA, and I'd pick Jazz. I can't pick Cody Garbrandt, dude. Fucking state of this guy. He literally just, in his last fight, lost every round and then won a decision. Like, I'm not picking that to win. Yanez is just like a chubby little Mexican guy who's like an okay boxer but slaps all his punches. I don't think he hits that hard. He's been sitting down on his punches a little more, but I'm still not convinced, dude. I am going to go Yanez KO just because Garbrandt's such a shell of a man. He's just such a shell of a man. I don't like either of their builds. I do pick fights based off builds occasionally. You'll see that on the main card. They're both kind of built annoyingly. But I guess Yanez, I just don't... How do you break down this fight? Garbrandt doesn't do anything anymore. Again, kind of like Gondra Reese. This isn't really a Yanez pick. It's just kind of a Garbrandt fade. I shouldn't need to explain any more than that. If you watched Garbrandt's last fight, that's why I'm not picking him. Next fight, Gable Stevenson versus Alicia Ellison, and Gable wins. Next up, Robert Whittaker, Nikita Krylov. This one I've gone back and forth on a lot too, because I'm seeing people picking Whittaker, and they're like, dude, he's just way more skilled. No one as skilled as Whittaker is losing to Nikita Krylov, but it's like, this guy Whittaker's always had a problem with less skilled girth maxers, dude. Drickus hit him with a women's MMA toss in round 1 just via girth. And De Ridder beat him with a 1-2 look at me I'm big body knee, as Magic MMA on Twitter said. And it's like, it's true, dude. Whittaker struggles with girth. And now he's moving up and fighting a big, filled-out guy at 205. This isn't a small light heavyweight. This isn't like Alonzo Menafield, who's like 5'2 and garbage. I mean, don't get me wrong, Krylov's no world beater. But dude, he's 6'3", he's filled out. And I want to pick him because Whittaker struggles with people with this frame and with this girth and tonnage. But then I think about Krylov and I'm like, he just stinks of shit. He's just bad at fighting. He walks into elbow. Do you know what it is? Krylov fights like a PFL NPC. I'll always thank Lucas Tracy for creating the ole, 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 ole fest meme. Because that's exactly how this guy Krylov fights, dude. He fights like a Bellator tick. He fights like a little PFL nerd. Just bounces around. All of his entries are just not good. He lunges into elbow range on one leg, throwing inside low kicks, bro. Like, how... He just stinks. He's just bad. So, like, I have to pick Whittaker because he is more skilled. But he was also more skilled than Drickus and De Ridder. And, like, we saw what happened there. He was more skilled, but he's getting women's MMA hip tossed in both of them. And he's getting kneed to the body and just folding a bit and losing grappling exchanges. And now he's 35. It's like 13 kids. He brought all of them in attendance. Bobby Noon's very happy about that, dude. I think Whittaker's style, as long as he's not so washed, actually should be good against Krylov, though. Oh, well, he's bad against girth, and Krylov's big, and Krylov's bad at this, etc. Krylov does, like I said, throw leg kicks in elbow range, and that's what Whittaker can exploit. You know what I mean? Whittaker, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That's all he does. He throws a little 1-2 blitz and a stomp every now and then. And if Krylov's standing in front of Whittaker on one leg, doing a little fucking leg kick, and Whittaker blitzes him with a 1-2, Krylov is going to go down, because he is a chinny little fella. So I'm going Whittaker. I don't like it. I really wanted to pick Krylov as a dog. Oh my god, he's not even a dog. If these odds are right, and Whittaker's the underdog, I guess I just picked another underdog. I feel like Whittaker's been the favorite the whole week, though. I don't know. Give me Whittaker KO. Probably round 1 or 2. Krylov's just too sloppy on the entries. And he is chinny. That's the difference between him and De Ridder. Is at least De Ridder's like durable, so he can afford to do stupid shit. Krylov deadass just does what De Ridder does while having the worst chin in the division. So on to the next fight. King Green, Terrence McKinney. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said I pick fights based on build. Look at the state of Terrence T-Rex McKinney. How are you black and built like this? That's not allowed. That's literally not allowed. You have the genetic makeup to just be built like King Green naturally without working out. You know how out of shape and you know the lack of training McKinney has to be doing to be built like this? As a young black athlete? His job is to be athletic and he's built like this. That's unacceptable. I'm picking King Green. Also, no, all jokes aside, stylistically, I hate McKinney fights because they're impossible to predict. Is he going to win via fluke or is he not? And I'm just done picking McChinney. I picked Kyle Nelson last time and was wrong, and I don't even regret it. Kyle Nelson, straight up, I swear to God, quit to a blocked head kick. He blocked the head kick perfectly, X-block, everything. Fell over and then curled up in a ball. Like, what are we doing, boss? And King Green's been on a run, man. And this is what I like, he's been wrestling. I think if McKinney tard blitzes him early, not even if, when McKinney tard blitzes him early, he's just gonna shoot. He just is. He's gonna shoot right under. It's gonna be beautifully timed. And even if he doesn't get it, that like 10-second scramble, McKinney's gassed. You know what I mean, dude? McKinney's gassed instantly. And then Green puts the hands on him and McKinney goes down. I can't pick McKinney to beat anyone who I deem a top 25 lightweight. I think he's still yet to do that in my mind. Anytime he fights someone who isn't bottom of the barrel, he loses. You know what I mean? Kyle Nelson's just a featherweight who chose to move up. But like McKinney can beat like Mike Breeden, dude. And just absolute tomato cans. But then he fights the Sadikovs and the Ribovics and even Bonfim, who I don't even think he's a top 25 lightweight. He's not. He's like objectively not. And Bonfim looked like a future top 5 contender at 155. He tricked us, bro. And Green, not only is he top 25 at lightweight, I'd go as far as to say he's a ranked level lightweight. I'd go as far as to say he is a top 15 level 155er. Give me Green. I know you might say, oh, but Jimbo, he stands with his hands by his cock and balls, and McKinney's going to throw heat at him right away. I know, dude. You don't think I think of that? Dude, I'm scared. I'm scared. Green's my favorite fighter on the whole card. I'm terrified. But I refuse to pick McKinney to not only beat my favorite fighter on the card, but to beat anyone at this point. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of his gimmick, dude. Cut him. That's why my GOAT Chris Duncan murked your shit, buddy. Give me Green, second round, whatever, really. Second round exhaustion because McKinney's death gassed. Next fight on the card, Brandon Royval versus Kavanaugh. Now this is where the Jimbo Ortega fence-sitting masterclass is in full swing. All right, boys? You might say, oh, how are you so good at predicting fights? It's because of stuff like this. And the trick is, you can't think any fighter is actually good. You have to think they're all garbage, so that when they lose, they don't disappoint you, and when they win, your opinion doesn't change on them. Lonnie Kavanaugh's good, and Brandon Royval is washed. So I'm going to preface this by saying I am picking Kavanaugh, but I'm picking Kavanaugh by decision. But that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if he went out there and sparked Royval in a round at all. I just want to preface that. But now I want to say, I just want you guys to enter this little fan fiction with me real quick. This little make-believe world, all right? Just imagine there's a minute left in round 2, and all of a sudden, Lonnie Kavanaugh shoots a takedown because Royval's throwing a big combo, and Royval stuffs it, sprawls hard as fuck. Kavanaugh stands back up, he starts shaking the arms out, round ends. I guarantee all of you people who called Kavanaugh a lock and put real-life money on Kavanaugh are shitting yourselves, dude. This guy's cardio is still, like, a question. I know he just dominated Moreno for 5 straight rounds in Mexico, but Moreno did nothing. Moreno just stood there like a fucking disconnected controller NPC, dude. He didn't push back, he didn't do anything. All Moreno has these days is a step-in body kick and an overhand and the occasional jab. That's all he does. Royval, at the very least, I can trust Royval is going to try and push a pace and try and weaponize his cardio a bit. And if this fight hits round 3 and Royval has any sort of momentum going into it, you're going to be shitting yourself, dude, I'm telling you. All you people who put a bunch of money on Kavanaugh, put him in every parlay. I'd be careful, dude. Kavanaugh's still a work in progress, in my opinion. I wouldn't be sold on him cardio-wise yet. And I don't think he has the finishing ability you guys think he does. Now, like I said, could he go in there and finish a washed Royval in a round? Yes. But I think he's more like a Nathaniel Wood. Ain't you Nathaniel B? I think he's like Nathaniel Wood, where it's like he's going to have one big moment of fight. Everyone's going to think he's dangerous, but then it's still going to go the full 15 or the full 25. Happened in the Moreno fight. That's what he screams. Oh my days, Nathaniel Wood. Oh my days, Lonnie Kavanagh, brother. That's what he screams, dude. He's going to like hurt Royval in round 1 and then gas out going for a finish, and then round 3 he's going to get TKO'd. He's going to shoot a bad takedown and get guillotined. It's going to be Malott versus Magny or some shit. I can see that kind of tech going down. But my paranoia aside about prospects, I am going to go Kavanagh. But I'm going to go Kavanagh 29-28. I think if he doesn't get a finish in round 1, it's going to be a rough round 3, I'll say that. Next up on the card, this one might have been the hardest fight to predict on the whole card, because these are both two people who are willing to stink up the whole show if it means they can win, dude. We've seen Mario hold Aldo against the cage, do 0 damage. We've seen Corey hold Rob Font in half guard for 25 minutes, do 0 damage. We've seen them both fight with the outside foot battle, feinting at range, switching stances. They're both willing to do nothing. Now, the way I came to my senses on this pick and why I'm picking Corey Sandhagen is just because I think out of every round, I think round 3 is probably the clearest round for Corey. If you told me I had to put money on a fighter winning a round, I would say I think Corey has the best chance of winning round 3. I think he has a better chance of winning round 3 than Mario does of winning round 1, 2, or 3. You know what I mean? I don't like the way Batista looked in round 3 against Patchy Mix, dude. You can't arguably lose round 3 on the feet to Patchy Mix. Pathway Maximilian shouldn't be landing anything on you. You know what I mean? Matchy picks should quite literally be landing 0 significant strikes on you for the entire fight, let alone just alone in round 3. Pitcher Mexican would get literally destroyed by 90% of the division, and he kind of like... His round 3 against Batista tricked me into thinking he might not be complete garbage, because Mario Batista let Sir Patrick Mix-a-Lot kind of put hands on him in round 3. Now, in all fairness, I still think Batista won that round, and the judge who gave it to Patchword Mixington should probably be assassinated. But like, don't be doing that. Don't be having a close round with Patchy Mix, dude. Just don't. I think Corey will start fast. Batista, I think it's just going to be a damage versus control thing. I don't think Batista's going to outstrike Corey. I don't think he has the right tools on the feet to do it. And I think Corey's shots, the knees, the elbows, they're just going to be more meaningful than Batista's cage control and a leg kick here and there. And Corey's hard to hit clean. I just think Corey is going to edge this one out. I think he's going to start fast and good. Batista might win round 2 with just pure activity. But I could see a 30-27 Sandhagen here. I really could. This is going to be it's going to be a close fight. Even if one of them does win 30-27, someone's going to call it a robbery. That's just the way this fight's going to go, dude. 2 beakers and test tube merchants putting on their lab coats, switching stances at range, listening to Claro, Sandhagen, at least. I don't know how to pick this fight, dude. If anyone has a good read on this fight, they're lying. All I can tell you with confidence is that it's not going to go like the first one. That's, I guess, all I can really say. So give me Corey by decision. I don't think we're going to leave this fight thinking anything different about either of these two. I think it's just going to be a setback in Batista's career, which is why I don't like this matchmaking. I feel like they could have done something where we could learn something about one of them. This matchup doesn't seem to give either of them a chance to show anything, really. Which sounds weird because Batista quite literally can't be worse than he was the first time, so he literally has to show something new. But dude, this isn't Vinicius Oliveira, dog. Corey would have done the same thing to Vinny. I think Corey's just gonna beakers and test tube his way to a 29-28 here, in all honesty. Now onto the co-main event. Patrick Pimbleton versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? To all my French huzz out there. Lad. Patty's gonna win this, dude. Patty's actually gonna win this. I like this matchup for Patty stylistically. Momentum-wise, no. But dude, Benoit looked like dog shit in his last fight. Dare I say. He just didn't look good at all to me. Because the thing with Benoit, how does he win this fight? I don't see him winning this fight purely on the feet at all. So he's going to have to grapple at some point. And I've seen throughout multiple Benoit fights, people deal with his grappling just fine, dude. First of all, the Hoofy fight that everyone says he just molested Hoofy in and Hoofy had no success. Benoit got a takedown in round 1 and Hoofy swept him, ended up on top. Mauricio Hoofy swept him. If Hoofy can sweep you, I think Patty can as well, dude. I really do, man. And not only that, talking about sweeping, dude. Dan Hooker swept this guy like 8 times with the same guillotine. And the difference between Dan Hooker and Patty is Hooker was using it to just get back to his feet. Patty's going to use it to take dominant position. And the last time we saw a good grappler on top of Benoit, he got 10-7'd in France. You know what I mean? It's just I feel like Patty's going to be the one doing damage. If they both spend an equal amount of time on top, I think Patty's going to be the one doing more damage. And these guys are both going to chase a finish. It's going to be a ridiculous pace. There's no way this goes 3 rounds. These guys both want to finish so bad. Benoit he's not going to camp in half guard, dude. He's going to try and take mount. He's going to try and get you to give your back up. He's going to chase arm triangle here. He's going to chase guillotine here. And I favor the cardio of Pimblett. Not massively, but in round 3, I would favor Pimblett if it does go there. So I think late it's Pimblett. Maybe, and this isn't to say that Benoit can't just take Pimblett down. Obviously he can. Pimblett's takedown defense is subpar at best. But like I said, I allude to Mauricio Hoofy sweeping, getting back to his feet. Dan Hooker not only using the guillotine to sweep, but he just swept from, I think, bottom half in round 1 after getting women's MMA hip tossed. So it's not like Benoit, if he's on top of you, round's over, you're not getting up, like it is with Moicano or something. You know what I mean? If he gets on top of Patty, I'm not really going to be that worried. Pimblett's shown a good ability to get back up once taken down. Something that Hoofy hasn't even really done, and he was sweeping Benoit all over the gaff. So I like the grappling of Patty a little bit more. I favor him in more exchanges than not. And on the feet, his weapons are perfect, dude. Benoit hates teeps. He doesn't know how to defend them. If Dan Hooker wasn't a complete brain-dead moron, he would have whipped a head kick up there and knocked him out cold. If you watch the fight, dude, Dan Hooker threw like 3 teeps in a row and then used it to set up that head kick, and Benoit straight up put both hands down thinking it was a teep, and Dan Hooker just missed. If Dan Hooker wasn't hot garbage, dude, that lands shin to chin, out cold. And it's just, Patty has kicks. That's his whole offense, his kicks. And uppercuts, knees and uppercuts. Benoit shoots like a FNAF character when you're getting jump scared, so far out. It looks like when Quillen was shooting on Nazrat. Just the worst shots of all time. That's where Patty's landing that uppercut. That's where Patty's landing a knee. That's where he's jumping Gilly, using it to sweep and end up on top. Benoit's going to be more physically strong. But I don't think that's going to matter that much here. He doesn't use, unless he uses it to get like a face crank or something, but I don't think he's going to get that position on Patty even. Patty's a good grappler. Benoit's a good grappler. Patty's a terrible striker. Benoit's a terrible striker. So it just comes down to their stylistic weapons. And I think Patty matches up pretty well here. Dan Hooker and Hoofy showed that Benoit isn't this marauder on the ground, where it's like once you're there, fight's over. I think Paddy can avoid danger on the ground, land the more damaging shots, and I think he gets him out of there late. I really do. I think round 2, end of round 2, Paddy's chaining submission attempts together, ending up on top, landing big shots, and I think the ref calls it at the end of round 2. Paddy gets a ground and pound TKO. So that's the pick. Not confident in it because Paddy looked not even bad against Gaethje. Yeah, he looked bad, but he looked dumb. I don't know what his game plan was. And I know people are saying, oh, dude, Gaethje just showed how good he was against Ilya, though. That was a whole different version of Gaethje. If you rewatch that Paddy fight, that was a way worse version. I don't know what happened in between January and June, but Gaethje, maybe he was injured in the Paddy fight. I think he was. I think something was going on. Maybe staph. I don't remember what it was. But it was a clearly different Gaethje. A version of Gaethje that Paddy should be beating. So, I mean, it's kind of the battle of mid. I'm not super high on either of these guys. I don't think either of them have a career in the top 5 of lightweight. And I don't think either of them are improving either. Benoit's looked very stagnant. Paddy, I don't think his style, can even be improved. At this point, he's not tucking his chin. He's not doing anything different. He's just Paddy. But I think just Paddy wins. Paddy round 2 TKO. Lock it in. Now on to the main event. Not much to break down here. Maybe if I gaslit myself for long enough, I could think McGregor has a chance. It's just, I'm not even going to break down the crafties of this fight. It's just, we can put some stuff into a timeline here. Think about what you were doing June 10th, 2021. That was the last time McGregor's fought. I was 15. I was, a sophomore? A freshman? Something like that in high school? I think sophomore, yeah, I was a sophomore in high school. Alex Pereira was still 5 months away from making his UFC debut. JDM didn't make his debut until January the next year. You know what I mean? So much stuff has happened since McGregor's last fight. And it's just optimistic to think he's going to come back after over half a decade off and beat somebody who's been winning, and if not winning, actively competing at the highest level of the sport. You can talk about the weight and the style here, style there. You just can't take 5 years off, dude. This is going to look like Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler 2, where Nick Diaz came back and just looked fucking useless. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I mean, it kind of will be, though. I think Max gets him out of there in round 1 or 2. I don't think this is going to be competitive. The only way this is competitive is if Max lets it be and he doesn't fight to his fullest ability early and lets McGregor get back into the flow of things and find his distance, and Holloway's not throwing too many strikes. He's not throwing with intent to knock him out. But if we even get the Holloway that fought Poirier, he's chinning this guy in a round, dude. McGregor looked washed in June 2021. He's not going to look better now just because it's up a weight class, dude. And stylistically, I think this is an even harder fight than Poirier. Poirier will stand with you in the pocket, trading hands and shit, dude. Holloway's constantly moving, fighting both hands, throwing a bunch of kicks, stomping on the leg. This is just it's a tall order, dude. It's a tough ask. Hey, McGregor, 5 years off, here's Max Holloway, bud. You know what I mean? Even if, picture this, imagine after the leg break in 2021, he came back in December 2023, after court cases and cocaine addiction and finding God. We would all be like, dude, it's been way too long. There's no way he wins after 2.5 years off. It's been double that now. It's literally been double that now. He would have been washed for the Chandler fight when it was supposed to happen. Let alone this one, dude. This is an easy pick. This is the lock of the card, in my opinion. I'm more confident in Holloway winning than literally anyone else. If he loses, it's straight up, it's just a fluke. Maybe I'm not giving McGregor enough credit, and he always does perform under the bright lights, I guess, but I don't know, man. He looked washed in his last fight, and that was 5 years ago. Pre-injury, pre-cocaine, pre-charges. You know what I mean? I'm not buying it. All right, I think that's all I have to say for today. Follow the Twitter. Subscribe, I guess. This is all I'm probably going to post from now on. I might post the one random video a month, but I'm going to turn into Kunis. I'm just going to be a prediction channel. That's all I really care about. And all jokes aside, I am a good predictor. I know my reasoning for picking some of these fights is this guy's built like an iPad kid, so I'm not picking him, and this guy's Zach Reese, so I'm not picking him. But I mean, it's been working for me all year, so yeah, thanks for watching. See you next week for the Battle of Africa, Usman versus Dunkus Duplunkus.